Come on in, welcome to my home. Today we are going to talk about one of those home economic things that very few people talk about. That's resource management, and to be specific, time management. Why am I talking about time management? So I found a quote while looking on the internet that said there are 165 hours in a week, which is wrong. You have to work for 40 of them, and then you sleep for 56 of them. That gave you 65 hours a week, which you could then pursue your dreams. And aside from letting the math part go, okay? Aside from letting that go, there was a great response to it. It said, obviously you're a rich person who doesn't have to do anything. And that's a really big point to have in this. The fact that some of these things that we think about, resource management, as in, the physical stuff you have, we don't think about the time. How much time do you have and how much time do you need? Because one of the important things that you need so you don't get burnt out on everything is you need some free time. It's true. But let's look at the math of this. There are 24 hours a day and 7 days a week, so that gives you 168. Alright, so already we're having problems. There are 40 hours that you're supposed to be working and 56 hours that you're supposed to be sleeping. Subtract those and you have 72 hours. Okay, 72 hours that you can pursue your dreams. Well, wait a minute there. Couple problems. I don't know about you, but I can't miraculously get to work. It takes the average person about 1 hour and 6 minutes to commute to work. So until the day I can miraculously appear at work, well, that's not happening. So that's cutting into my 24-hour day. So let's see where we are. We had 8 hours of sleeping, 8 hours of working, and now an hour, we're going to stick with that one to make it easier, of commuting. Okay, that's really simple. But what about the rest of the time? Okay, well, I do have to get ready in the morning. Alright, the average person takes about 20 minutes to shower and do all the bathroom activities and get dressed, and then 20 minutes to eat breakfast. So now we've just lost 20 minutes. So we just lost 40 minutes. Well, okay, that really is cutting into my day. And then when we get to other activities, let's talk about fixing food. Dinner and possibly lunch. You're going to spend about an hour eating and fixing food and cleaning up. So we've already cut down into, that 8 hours that we actually had left over. We've lost about 3 hours of that. And that's not even counting administrative duties at home. Because let's face it, you're running your house like a business. So you're cutting into that 8 hours once again. So you're now down to, you might have 4 hours of at-home time that you do not have scheduled. Just 4. And that's not even counting cleaning. Cleaning and laundry has to go in there. Let's take another hour away. So now you have 3 hours left. In one of the articles, which is listed down below, it says that you need 7 hours of free time a day. I'm not sure how that works. But the big thing about this is, don't just listen to what I'm telling you about this. Think about your time. One of the cool things about this video is this is my take on time management. It's not professional, it's not somebody else's version, but this is what I look at on time management. Now there are links down below to some of the articles that I have researched and some of the things that I've done, but this is my version of time management. You need to really find out what works for you, but watch the rest of the video, it'll explain it. Have you ever time blocked your day? Yes, we are going to use the scientific method to help you get more time. So time blocking your day is where you just write down what you did at what time. Do it in blocks so you can see, got up, ate breakfast, drove to work, worked, came home. And then you can see where you are spending your time. Because you might find that, yes, this works really well for me. I have enough free time, or you might find out that, no, this really doesn't work out for me. I've seen a lot of quotes about how people should be working 100 hours a week to make their dreams come true. And while that does really help if you're making your dream come true, the problem is burnout. Burnout can be a huge, huge problem. You might not know this, but originally the way that my YouTube channel was set up, I would record videos on Mondays, then I would edit them on Tuesday, then I would record another video on Wednesday, edit that video on Thursday, And then Friday I would try to get the weekly video, which is on my Patreon, all done. And you're like, well, that's not that big a deal. Well, it sort of is, because none of those things actually takes as little time as everyone thinks they do. It would usually take on recording day, depending upon what I was recording, about 8 hours to do 2 episodes. So I would do 2 episodes a week, like 2 cooking videos or 2 of these like talking heads videos, and then editing them that just depended. It depended upon what it was like and all those fun things. So then to edit them, it isn't just piecing the pictures together. It's like getting the pictures together and adding in music and adding in all of those things, uploading it, getting all the information onto the video, and then it's done. That could take 6 to 8 hours. Okay, total time, no problem. Then the speed cleaning videos, which I would usually do the speed cleaning videos in half-hour bursts, or if I didn't do that, I would try to do it in about 4 hours of cleaning, which usually was about right if I was doing this in that whole time frame. So 4 hours of cleaning, and then it would have to be uploaded, and then it would have to be edited. The editing always took forever because there was a lot of squishing and that sort of thing. So then on Thursday, when it came time to edit that video, that would take about 6 to 8 hours once all the music and gets uploaded and all those fun things. I still have to do my weekly video, and that does not take as long to edit, which is, you're like, okay, that's fine. But then there's everything else. There's still answering of I still have to answer the comments. I still have replies to reply on business things. So then suddenly it became a big thing of this taking like tons and tons of time, and I had no research to do things like research videos like these, which I love to do. I had no time. And you're saying, well, what does this have to do with home economics? Your home is work. It's housework. They talk about this. If you treat it like it's work and realize that you need breaks in there, that you actually need to have time for yourself, because it's the reason I did the whole 4 hours of those things. When you start getting into doing the housework, and that's not even counting house repairs, all of those fun things, any improvements, you're like, well, I can do those on the weekend. Well, that's great, but you do need time to relax. You need to look at your life, how is your life working, and think about time management, as in, are you managing your time? Are there better ways that you could actually do things? Could you hire these things out? Could you actually, we use a meal service right now, HelloFresh. I will talk about that later in a later video. And so we have that delivered to the house, and all we have to do is just make the meals. It goes a lot faster. My shopping, I do my shopping online and pick up the groceries there. So yeah, I can cut some of these things out, but I can't cut them all out. You have to think about what is like diminishing your life versus what's making your life better. I did get Mom one of those robot vacuums. She has an iRobot because she hates vacuuming, despises vacuuming. And so that way it could do the vacuuming for her and life became a little bit better. But you need to think about what things are actually dragging you down. Because when you look at work and commuting and all of those other fun things, I forgot to mention paying bills, but I think that was in the administrative part, and cleaning and all of this, and then we're going to talk about reorganizing your house. Make sure that you are still giving yourself time, at least 1 hour a day, just for yourself. And I didn't even talk about time for your friends and family, because you do need time to connect with people. You do need time to do whatever you think is fun. Now, what's important is figure out what you think is fun. I'm not here to tell you what you think is fun, and that will change things. Because if you're one of these people who thinks baking bread is a ton of fun and that's how you relax, then bake bread. That's your free time. That is your time, your me time. Maybe your me time is just laying in a bed of bedliness, or maybe just taking a bubble bath. who knows, reading, whatever, as long as you have some free time so that the housework doesn't take over everything. Because one of the things that you'll find out about people who do housework, especially the people who do the housework during the holidays, it's always the fun thing of, do you need to do all the housework for everybody while everybody is here? Another part of time management is actually figuring out how long it takes to do something. That means, like, actually trying it and then doing it, because people have a tendency to underestimate the amount of time that it takes to do something. And they have also a tendency to think that they can do something in the same amount of time that somebody who's been doing it forever can do. No, you can't. Not unless you get lucky, or it's not going to take you that much time, but you can't. Give yourself way more time than what you think you're going to need, so that way you're not rushing things, you're not pulling punches at the last minute, you're not doing something which you will vastly, vastly regret. Because if you don't have enough time to get things done, that's its big issue. The thing which you can do is actually time yourself doing things, so that way you get an idea. And then you can make that reference of, like, well, I know that it took this amount of time to do something which is similar. This is going to be more difficult, so it will take even more time. Or this is going to be easier, so it will take less time. Then add an hour to that, or 10 minutes, or 50%. I think, as I said, 20% to that, because you're always wrong when it comes to estimating time, no matter what. I personally do this in the way that when I try to figure out how long it's going to take me to do something, I take my rough estimate, like making this video. I knew that it was going to take me about an hour and a half to record this, but I booked out 2 hours. Why did I book out 2 hours? So that way I could be prepared for any problems that would arise, because problems happen all the time, and you need to be prepared for it. There's nothing worse than, like, you're trying to do something and then there's a problem, then you have to do something else, or you don't have everything that you need, or something else goes wrong. It's okay. Just have that time built in, so that way you still have what was really important from the beginning. Why is time management still so important? So that you still have time for you. The best way that you can learn time management is to actually practice it. And I do honestly mean practice it. That means keep track of your time. Keep track of how long it takes you to do things, so that way you have some sort of guide. Because, like I said, it might take you less time, it might take you more time, but if you have some sort of foundation to go off of, some sort of idea, then life gets easier. But before you do any of these ideas which are coming up with our whole home economics thing, make sure that you have the time to do them. Maybe you're just going to squeeze in an extra 5 minutes here or there. Don't feel that you have to get the entire project done at that moment. You don't. Get it done on your own time. Time management thing. But get it done. That's the important part about this. And that's why I schedule everything. Everything that I do, I schedule simply because I'm one of these people who, if I have a task, I want to get it done. If I want to get it done, I'll put it on my calendar, and I will get my calendar stuff scheduled, and I will keep my calendar spaced out enough so that if there is a problem or if something does happen, I do have some wiggle room to jump around in and to, change things. But time management is a learned skill. The only way you're going to learn it is to practice it. So this week, do me a favor, do you a favor. Keep track of your time. Figure out where you're spending your time, how you're spending your time. Then you might see how you can improve that. Then keep track of that. And it's that scientific method thing again. If you haven't seen that video, click the card, it'll take you to that day. Well, I hope you enjoyed this lesson on my version of time management. I hope I get to see you the next time that you stop by. Now, if you are interested in really supporting this channel, you can head on over to Patreon. At Patreon, they do get these videos early, but also they get extra perks. There's a weekly vlog. If you don't want to do Patreon, there is members here. You get some behind the scene footage. And if you're not interested in any of those, you can also just like and share this video. That's a wonderful thing to do, because that lets me know that you are interested in this, and I hope you get to see you the next time you stop by.